Karoline Leavitt is the press secretary at the White House, doing a great job. Such a great job that the ladies of The View feel the green monster coming upon them.
And Karoline Leavitt isn't just making headlines, she's also rewriting history. At 27, the New Hampshire native has become the youngest White House press secretary ever.
It's been one whirlwind of a week in Washington, and the drama just keeps getting juicier. If you thought the political scene couldn't get any spicier, buckle up, because Trump's new White House press secretary, Karoline Leavitt, has sent shockwaves through the media and beyond. At just 27 years old, she's already making history as the youngest press secretary ever. And let's just say her debut didn't disappoint. From jaw-dropping revelations about government spending to fiery media feuds, this story has everything you'd expect from the Trump administration and more. So, what's the deal with Karoline Leavitt, and why is everyone either cheering her on or sharpening their claws? Let's dive in.
They really don't like this woman. She's a good communicator. And so Joy Behar just offered her analysis on why Leavitt was picked for the role.
Picture this. The White House briefing room is packed to the brim. Reporters from every corner of the media world, mainstream, independent, and even a few fresh faces from the influencer crowd are seated and ready. It's Karoline's very first press briefing, and expectations are through the roof. Dressed impeccably and exuding confidence, she steps up to the podium with no notes, no binders, just her. The room goes silent. Everyone's waiting to see if this young upstart can hold her own under the scrutiny of the press. Spoiler alert, she does more than hold her own. She sets the room on fire. Karoline kicks things off with a bombshell. The Trump administration is committed to exposing fraud, waste, and abuse across every federal agency. And she's not just talking the talk, she's got receipts. Literally, she holds up screenshots of contracts, line items, and payments that the administration claims are nothing short of shocking. Want specifics? How about a diversity and inclusion contract worth $36,000 for U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services? That, according to Karoline, directly contradicts Trump's America First agenda, or a hefty $3.4 million for a Council for Inclusive Innovation at the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. And then there's the kicker, $57,000 spent on climate projects in Sri Lanka. What is this doing for the American people, she asks, her voice cutting through the room. Absolutely nothing.
In the media, because I think it's a real fallacy that there's this alleged lack of transparency when it comes to Doge. President Trump and Elon Musk have been incredibly...
Karoline continued to make waves by unveiling findings from Elon Musk's Doge team, which has been meticulously analyzing federal spending records. Their investigation reportedly uncovered more than just questionable contracts. Among the revelations were improper payments totaling trillions of dollars sent to overseas accounts, as well as Social Security payments issued to individuals who were no longer alive. Karoline emphasized that taxpayers should be outraged by the misuse of their money, underscoring the gravity of the situation. The press conference quickly descended into chaos as reporters scrambled to take notes, capture photos, and share updates on social media. The revelations became the focal point of public discourse, drawing strong reactions from all sides. Supporters praised Karoline's commitment to transparency, framing her as a champion of government accountability. Critics, however, accused her of posturing and using the issue to score political points. Despite the polarized reactions, Karoline remained composed, asserting that the administration has been more transparent than any in history.
We have contracts upon contracts that we can send and provide this information to you. Let me be very clear. We are not trying to hide anything.
While the focus might have stayed on these startling discoveries, the narrative took a sharp turn. The hosts of The View shifted attention to Karoline not for her policies or performance, but with pointed personal remarks. Joy Behar led the critique, suggesting Karoline's appointment was based on her appearance, referencing Donald Trump's past comments about women. This remark drew widespread backlash, with many condemning Behar for making what they deemed a sexist and dismissive comment.
I think she's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10.
Luca Vogel also weighed in, pivoting to Karoline's critical stance on wokeness. Goldberg argued that the very progress Karoline denounced was what enabled women like her to access opportunities in politics and public life. She expressed frustration, noting that women historically were excluded from positions of power, and emphasized that the struggles of past generations paved the way for Karoline's success. Goldberg's remarks highlighted the tension between Karoline's messaging and the broader discourse on social progress. But not everyone was buying what The View was selling. Social media erupted with people calling out the hypocrisy. Amazing that Joy Behar suggests the only reason Karoline Leavitt got her job is because of her looks, wrote one user. How very empowering of her. Another chimed in, if a Republican said anything remotely like that, they'd be torn apart. And then there was this zinger. Well, to be fair, there's not a chance in hell Joy Behar got her job on The View because of her looks.
Because she said something yesterday that really pissed me off. And that was, she said, there will be no wokeness here.
Oh, yeah.
Let me explain something to you.
Meanwhile, Karoline's supporters were quick to point out her extensive resume. Before becoming press secretary, she served as communications director for Representative Elise Stefanik and worked in the Trump White House during his first term. She even ran for Congress in New Hampshire back in 2022. The drama surrounding Karoline's announcement about opening up press briefings to non-traditional media figures, such as podcasters, influencers, and independent journalists, has sparked significant controversy. Traditional media outlets have openly criticized the decision, decision, claiming it undermines journalistic standards. Sunny Hostin from The View raised concerns about whether these new media personalities possess the qualifications typically expected in the briefing room, emphasizing the traditional requirements of journalism degrees and professional credentials. Karoline, however, defended the move by pointing out that millions of Americans now rely on social media and podcasts for their news, emphasizing the administration's efforts to adapt to the evolving media landscape.
So oftentimes we were dealt with defending some of the things that he had said or done, and it made it difficult because we were pushing forth policies that were really, really good.
This shift has the potential to drastically alter the nature of White House press briefings. Historically, these briefings have been dominated by legacy media outlets, operating under a strict hierarchy that dictated who could ask questions. By including podcasters and influencers, Karoline is not only changing the seating arrangement, but also challenging the traditional flow of information between the government and the public. Critics worry this could lead to sensationalism and unverified reporting, while supporters argue it represents a democratization of access to government communication. Some see this as a strategic way for the administration to bypass the traditional media establishment, with one commenter even calling the move genius. The change has already caused tension. Established journalists are uneasy about sharing the briefing room with figures from platforms like TikTok and YouTube. Some have accused the administration of catering to Trump's base by selecting media outlets that align with his messaging. Karoline has maintained that the selection process will be impartial and based on clear criteria, stating that the administration welcomes anyone who creates news-oriented content and meets security standards. Nonetheless, concerns remain about the potential effects on the quality of the press pool's questions. While some believe this could bring a greater diversity of voices to the room, others worry it might dilute the journalistic standards traditionally upheld in these settings.
Well, the president has already taken a very strong stance on this issue this week with the signing of his executive order, a few executive orders in this space.
Public opinion on this initiative is notably divided. Many see it as a necessary challenge to a system that has long prioritized major outlets, with supporters applauding the effort to disrupt the mainstream media's dominance. At the same time, critics fear that including influencers could blur the line between professional journalism and entertainment. They argue the need for individuals who will hold the administration accountable rather than those focused on creating viral content. Regardless of these differing perspectives, it's evident that Karoline's approach is both polarizing and groundbreaking, ensuring the debate over its implications will continue for some time. And let's not forget Elon Musk's role in all of this. As a special government employee, Musk has been working closely with the administration to uncover these alleged instances of fraud and waste. While some have raised eyebrows about potential conflicts of interest, Karoline insists everything is above board. Elon consults with the president before moving forward with anything, she told reporters. We're very confident in the ethics and guardrails that have been put in place.
That's the only difference between what President Trump is doing and what these Democrats have promised the American people for decades. He's actually following through on the promise to cut federal government waste.
Political fallout from these revelations is already shaping up to be immense. Democrats have wasted no time pushing back, with some accusing the administration of using these claims to distract from other issues. But public sentiment seems to be leaning in Karoline's favor, at least for now. Anyone who pays taxes should be outraged by how our tax money is being spent, one commenter wrote. Another added, if they're identifying fraud, they need to get to the bottom of it and prosecute the people behind it. So, what's next for Karoline Leavitt and the Trump administration? Will these revelations lead to real accountability, or will they get lost in the noise of political infighting? And what about the backlash from The View? Will Karoline respond, or will she let her actions speak louder than her critics' words? Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure, Karoline's not here to play by anyone else's rules.
A staunch Trump loyalist and unapologetic Gen Z conservative, Leavitt's sharp rhetoric and bold social media presence have already made waves.
Now it's your turn to weigh in. Do you think Karoline Leavitt is shaking up Washington the best way possible? Or do you agree with her critics? And what do you make of The View's comments? Fair game or totally out of line? Let us know in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching. See you next time.